today's demo is Lilies of the Valley. And so I want to share with you two different looks of these painted flowers. And I'm going to go ahead and get overhead so we can get going on this, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. There we go. All right, so back in 2006, that was a minute ago, Donna put out a book. Miss Donna Dewberry put out a book called Painting Fabulous Flowers, and in it she did a lily of the valley. And it's done in green tones, so the accent colors to help the lilies show against a lighter background are done with side loads of green. And so I went and looked at the A to Z kit that she has for Lily of the Valley, and very similarly done, but she used gray. Now, gray looks nice, but it's not my favorite on this. I like the green, and I think when you see a Lily of the Valley, you do see a little bit of green tone in those flower petals. So I'm going to do it that way, but just know if you have the A to Z kit, you've got this right in front of you. You can work along with me, okay? So let's set that up there. There we go. Okay, so this is what we are painting tonight. This is my sample. And the colors we are working with are very basic. 2 greens and a white and some floating medium. So we've got wicker white, citrus green thicket, and some floating medium. All right. Now I'm going to be using a 16 flat. So the design I'm going to paint is just a little bit smaller than this. This was done with a 3/4 inch flat and bigger brush for, I think it was a 10 flat for the lilies. I'm going to go with something just a little bit smaller tonight, and hopefully that will still be pleasing. So let's do this and that. All right, so we start with a 16 flat. Get that damp, and we're going to double load this with the 2 greens. All right, so we're just going to come right between and split the brush and get both dark and light green, and a large amount of it on there because we're doing big leaves. All right, and then we're going to get some medium, work that in. So I want you to see how much paint. This is a lot of paint because we got a long way to go. But I'm going to show you what's going to happen because I'm on paper. A little more medium. All right. It's going to, most likely, it's going to kind of skip and sputter on me because I'm on paper and I just can't get enough paint on my brush for that. But first thing I want to do is let's do the branch, the stem for our lilies so they hang out. So it's just a chisel edge stroke, leading with the dark, pulling the light green behind. All right, and then we're going to come right in here. I'm going to get down a little bit closer. We're going to come right in here with the dark to the outside. We're going to press down hard, give it a little lift and a press, and stand up to the chisel. Okay, a little bit of a glare there. There you go. Now we want to come back the other way. And so I want to get a little more paint on that back side of my brush. And let's come back up to the tip. We're going to reverse direction, press, lift, and press, stand back to the chisel. Okay, so that's our leaf. Now we got a little bit of a ridge right in here. We can go ahead and kind of stroke that out and maybe even give this a little smoothing stroke in here. Press, and stand up. That's better. Okay. Then chisel edge, we can come right up the center. I don't have any dark, so let's come back and get some thicket. And there we go. All right, so that's the leaf. We're going to do 2 more of those. Let's come here and we'll spray it out just a little more right through here. Push, lift, push, leave a little curve and stand up. Okay, fresh paint, come back, chisel, push, and twist with those fingers, the brush handle coming in. Okay, so again, I want to do a little smoothing stroke right in here just to kind of pick up some of that heavy paint in the middle. Right, we can come right back through here and restroke there. All right, so I remember my grandmother growing these in her little cottage garden she had outside of her breezeway as I was growing up. And they were a lot of leaves, and then these pretty little white flower bells would just pop up out of them. And they do smell heavenly. All right, so last leaf we're going to do, let's come right up here, and we're going to spread this out, hand in the way, spread it out, tip, reverse, more paint, on paper, more paint, push, lift, push, and twist with the brush in your fingers, stand up. Okay. There we go. All right, so that's the leaves. They're just real simple to do, big leaves. I'll go ahead and clean my brush. So I figured this was a timely flower for this time of year. They're starting to pop out. All right, so now what we want is our script liner. And we need to put the little stems that come off the main stem that hold the flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and get some water and get inky citrus green and then streak through a little bit of thicket. Okay. All right, now I found the easiest way is to actually pull the stroke from down, back up, and attach to the stem. You get just a little more thicket on there. All right, and these are going to hang over each other, so up, down, and stem. And do some that stick out not as far, some that stick out more. Do as many as you like. I'm just gonna, I think I'm gonna do about 5. Just because once you see 1 or 2, you kind of get the idea, right? All right, and we'll do one more right here, comes up and down. Okay. They don't grow, unfortunately, these don't grow down here in Florida because it's just too darn hot. Just like hostas don't seem to grow very well either, and I miss those because those are a nice green add to a garden. All right, so now I have a 6 flat, loading it with just white. All right, lots of white. I'm going to come and side stroke just a little bit of thicket. Grab more white and side load thicket. Okay, so let's come, whoops, sorry. Let's come down a little bit closer here because these are small strokes. All right, so we need a bell shape first. Okay, so we're going to come from below and come up, make a curve, and come back down. Okay, so that dark is on the top or outside. That dark green, just a little tint to help create that shape. All right, now we're going to come from the top of the bell and then we're going to twist with the green out and create little points. Little petals here and there. And then let's come back here, there. Okay, so this is the back row, right? And then we're going to come from out here, up, down, down. I need a little stronger green. Up, down, 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 and then we can come back up into that bell. All right, so we can take the white corner, get a little more of that green, come around that outside, and just kind of smooth it out and come back. A little more white. Now that's, to me, just a little too much green, so I'm going to come in and put more white in here. There we go. So you should see the two different layers. Let's do another one. Get all white. All right, and we'll come and do our bell. So we're going to do an all white bell on this one. Okay, get our bell shape. Then you're going to side with white, you're going to side stroke a little bit of that green. And we're going to come out here, make the point, come up, make a point, come up, a little bit more green. Make a point, come up, and then let's come out here and stand up. Okay, now let's go with a lighter green on top. So the darker was in the back. So what we're going to do now is I wiped off, I'm reloading with white. I'm going to side stroke the citrus green. Give you a little bit different look here. Okay, so here we're going to come down, make that little point, up, up, up. We'll come out here and then stand up. So cute little points out, and then we can take our white corner and pull that white from the bell out into those points. Okay, so can you see those? So more white. I'll do another one up here to get all white. Bell shape. Now we can overlap. It looks more natural if you overlap, so they're not all stilted away from each other. Okay, let's get that dark green again. And we'll come here, point, pull it back, point, pull it back. This little 6 flat. And you're going to change the size of your flat depending on how big everything else is, right? These are tiny little flowers on here, so you don't want a real big flower. I'm going to come back now because that pale green looked pretty, but it's not showing up. There we go. That's better. All right, then we're going to do our front layer. And you don't have to do the 2 layers on every single one because maybe some of them are tipped back or forward, I guess it would be, and you're not seeing all those points. But all right, so wipe off, get your white. We'll just do a couple more. All right, so my tip is right here. And the further down we go, maybe the more mature they are, the bigger they might be. So make your bell shape. Then come get more white. Side stroke the thicket. Point. Remember, with this type of painting, one-stroke painting, you don't like a stroke, you just stroke right over it. Almost always correct by doing that. So don't feel like just because you put the paint down that you're stuck with it, okay? If you don't like the stroke, stroke over it. All right, so here, let's spray out a little more on this one. And we'll come here, there, very subtle. And we'll spray out on this one as well. Okay. And then to finish up, we'll do one more right down here. Make your bell shape. Get your white, green. And this one we're going to have so it's tipped, and you're just going to see the one layer. All right, so let me wipe off and get just solid white, and we'll come right in here and pull that down into those points. Okay, now the last thing I want to do, pull that white into each of these. There. Okay, now you see those points a little better. And the last thing I want to do is, I know I said that a second ago and I didn't say it, just side load just a little bit of this green. And right up here, let's do just a little dark on top. Right, to give that rounded, shaded shape to the bell. Pull the white down. Rounded top, white corner. Okay, now we want to come back to our script liner, and we're going to get that citrus green and a little bit of thicket, and we're going to grab the tops of these. Right there. And pull them back into that stem. So right here, make a little upside down daisy stroke. Pulling it back. Grabbing the top of each one of these flowers. So this one's barely visible. And right here. Now this one I'm going to bring down just a little more. Remember, this was the one that was tilted, so you're only seeing one side. So let's emphasize that by grabbing it a little further down. Okay? And there you go. So let's get some inky thicket, or whatever color this ends up being. Let me wipe that off. I need water. There we go. And sign it. And there are your beautiful spring lilies of the valley. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that demo. It's a quick one, but they're a fun little flower to do.